Namaste, Jay Bharat. On previous occasions, I've already mentioned that agencies like United Nations, etc., are infiltrated by many kinds of terrorists and radicals. This happened over a period of time, and this infiltration is these days almost saturated. And as a result, when we have this Israel-Hamas conflict was taking place and happening, we found the United Nations and WHO or the IMF, all those things had a serious, sizable amount of infiltrators who were radicals, to say in one word, radicals. So UN, radicals were taking, they were in disguise of UN and trying to operate, and they were actually operating and very successfully operating. This thing had been going on for a long time. It happened through slowly, but then it had become something towards the point of saturation. So right now, something new had happened. Gaza. Previously, any of these international agencies could go into Gaza and stay there in the disguise of humanitarian aid, etc., etc. Many times there are doctors who go there and do surgery, provide medicines. And many times there are other kinds of workers who were social engineers who would go into the Gaza Strip to help, etc. And aid used to come, the so-called US aid, which is very disputable these days because they got exposed very much and people understand it. These things are happening. But presently, a new Israel has brought a new rule that you just can't walk into Gaza, no matter in which level, no matter whether it is UN, this thing, that thing, whichever is international agencies, humanitarian, whatever, you just can't walk into Gaza. You really have to take a visa from Israel to get into that place. That's a very solid move from part of Israel to check these infiltrators who go there and facilitate terrorists. They were actually facilitating Hamas. This time, recently they wanted to go and they've prepared about 1,500 tents, tented accommodation with all facilities. Tent means tent, classical tents, where everything is temporary, but then all facilities given there, including everything. And the people were ready to move in, and they actually do havoc after going into there in the name of UN. So now Israel says, no, you really have to get a visa. We want to know who goes in there. Wanted to prepare. They wanted to know who comes there and who does what. That's natural. So this is a very solid moment, as I see, that you just can't take them for a ride anymore. In the disguise of humanitarian aid and humanism and these kind of lofty jargons, they would go in and do whatever they want. This is what they speak in the radicals speak as taqiya. Taqiya means deception. You say something and do something else. They won't do directly. It's something like keeping women and children in front of you as human shield and firing the so-called opponents from behind. So this is typically what's happening. We are from UN, and then people accept them and people respect them, and after going there they will supply arms and support Hamas. They had been doing that. Most of the UN people, not really UN, most of the people who went in the name of UN were Hamasians. And in spite of knowing this truth, Israel, don't you think Israel knows it? They know it. They were not able to do anything because they were not getting international support for that. So these people come with international support and all kind of lofty jargons and things and come and operate. Now, of course, this is getting checked. Obtain a legitimate visa, then go into. The country, Israel, will decide whether you were permitted to go or not. This is the point. Now, this means something more than the surface level. It's something more than surface level. This means Gaza is under Israel's control. If you have to go there, Israel should permit you. You just can't say that with the permission of Palestine we can come there. No way. It explicitly says that now Gaza is theirs, or it says Gaza is Israel's. Much larger area would subsequently and slowly follow. This was needed for these deceivers who would play deception for their requirement, for their need, for their operations of terrorism. We shall meet again with some other thought. Until then, it's Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Sri Ram.